Members, my amendment simply puts it so that this currently only affects Arlington ISD, which is
Mr. Speaker.
a school district that
Mr. Turner of Tarrant, for what purpose?
The gentleman yield for some questions.
Gentleman yield for questions.
Could I explain the bill and then I'll answer some questions, or the amendment?
Please stick to the amendment, Mr. Stickland.
So my amendment
Not at this time.
simply does this. It takes House Bill 1133, which is a very simple concept that there has been a lot of misinformation about, including this flyer that was handed out to every single one of you, which includes a bunch of groups who did absolutely nothing to come and talk to me about this. House Bill 1133 was a bill that passed out of the Public Education Committee unanimously, and not one person testified against it. Let me tell you what it will do. It will take the current requirement of K through 4th grade, which is 22 kids or less, and allow it to be averaged only at the campus in a specific grade level. We're not getting rid of the 22 class size limit. It is continuing. If they go over the average of 22 at one campus in that grade level, they will still have to apply for a waiver, and they will still have to notify the parents, just the way it currently exists. Every single person who has asked for this waiver in the past, it has been given to. And House Bill 1133, and now amended to affect Arlington ISD, the folks who brought it to us, will save my school district a lot of money.
Mr. Speaker.
Give the local folks more control.
Mr. Turner of Tarrant, for what purpose?
Would the gentleman yield for some questions?
Gentleman yield for questions.
Yield for a question.
Gentleman yields.
Thank you. Representative Stickland, I have several questions. First question is, the Arlington School District know that you're attempting to pass an amendment in a bill bracketed just to them today? Are they aware of this?
Sir, I think this will affect Arlington, but I don't think
I know it affects Arlington.
I don't think that it's bracketed just towards Arlington, Representative Turner.
Okay, well, that's important information, because I think you just said in your layout that it's bracketed to Arlington. So who does this bracket include then? I think other members might want to know if their district is included in your removal of the current class size limit.
It is bracketed towards Arlington.
Mr. Stickland, that does not answer my question. Does the bracket include just Arlington, or does it include other?
Currently,
districts?
yes.
Does it include other districts? Or would other districts fit in the bracket?
Not currently.
So this amendment affects only the Arlington School District.
Say that again, Representative.
My question is, does this amendment affect only the Arlington Independent School District?
Representative Turner, this amendment was written specifically to make sure that Arlington ISD...
That does not answer the question, Mr. Stickland. I need you to tell the body if this amendment affects only Arlington or if it affects multiple school districts in this state.
It currently would only affect Arlington, but it could eventually impact other school districts if they meet the requirements as listed out in the amendment.
What are those requirements?
District of Innovation requirements that are literally spelled out in the bill.
So it could affect any school district, is what you're saying?
It could. It doesn't right now.
Okay, so you have an amendment, so you have a bill that would remove...
And Representative Turner, you know why we did it that way.
Well, let me ask the question. You have a bill that changes the current 22 per classroom class size limit to an average by campus. You're putting an amendment on that is presented as a bracket, but in reality, any district could be affected by this bill. Do I have that right?
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
So you have a bill that would change the current law, which says there can only be 22 students per class, grades K through 4. Your bill would change that to an average per campus per grade.
Per campus
your amendment,
per grade.
Your amendment initially presented as a bracket just to the Arlington Independent School District that you've not talked to them about today. Now we learn actually any district ultimately could qualify to be covered under this bill. Do I have that right?
As you know, our House rules govern the way this body works.
Mr. Stickland, I'm not asking about the House rules. I'm asking about your amendment and your bill.
My amendment has to allow to be able to grow to other districts, as you know.
No, I don't know. I mean, you said you were bracketing an amendment to the Arlington School District, which that in and of itself is not acceptable because they don't know you're doing this. And secondly, your amendment evidently affects every member of this body and every school district in the state.
No, it does not, Representative Turner.
Well, you just said any school district in the state could get into this bill under this amendment.
No, sir. They would have to meet the requirements as laid out in the amendment.
And any school district could meet those requirements. You just said that, yes, they could.
Well, not every school is a district of innovation, and I'm not aware of any other school that currently has any of this stuff that is listed in the amendment, Representative Turner.
So, Mr. Stickland, are you aware, have you read the Arlington Independent School District legislative priorities for the 86th legislature? They gave it to us all at the beginning of legislative session.
I'm sure I have at some point, yes, sir.
Okay. Are you aware that this bill, the contents of this bill and amendment are nowhere in their legislative priorities?
Representative, have you read the bill from our shared school district, Arlington ISD, or talked to the folks who came and testified in favor of this, including our superintendent?
I'm aware.
That just 2 years ago, you honored as the superintendent of the state, the best one in the state of Texas.
He is the best one in the state of Texas.
Does it mean anything to you that he signed a letter asking that this legislation be passed by this body?
Well, I will tell you, I've
it does to me, Representative.
I'm glad it does. So let me share with you, Representative Stickland, I want to ask you if you know that I've actually visited with the superintendent of Arlington School District several times over the last
days. And I assume they asked you to vote in favor of this, correct?
I will ask the questions, Representative Stickland. That's what I get to do at the back mic. But I'll answer that. No, they did not. And furthermore, he told me that their priority, their singular priority this legislative session, do you know what he said that is?
We're talking about the amendment
House
right
Bill
now.
3. It's school finance reform. That's their priority. So,
which we've all been working very hard on.
That you voted against. So,
do you anticipate we're going to get to vote on it again, Representative Turner?
I'll ask the questions at the back mic, Representative Stickland. But on your amendment, let's be very clear. You have an amendment.
Mr. Stickland, please keep the comments on the bill or amendment in front of us. And Mr. Turner, if we could both do that, that would help the debate be more enjoyable.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Representative Stickland, your amendment purports to bracket this bill, which would fundamentally change the class size limit just to Arlington. But in reality, the membership needs to know that any school district could get in to this class size exemption under this amendment. That's what I think I heard you say after you initially said it was bracketed just to Arlington. Am I right on that?
Representative Turner, you know that we cannot write something specifically for one school district in an amendment. So what we have done with this amendment is pulled from Arlington ISD, your school district and mine, their District of Innovation Plan, okay? And in this amendment, it specifically does it there because Arlington ISD has for a very long time now been asking us to return local control, deal with unfunded mandates, and allow them the flexibility to run their school district the way they see fit. And I agree with you, Representative Turner, when you brought them up and honored them for the great job they've done. And what House Bill 1133 as amended would do is allow them to have more control over what is best for our school district. And I trust them, Representative Turner. I trust them to do what's right by our children. They've done a great job, and I don't want them to have to come and beg a centralized government in Austin for them to have the ability to do what they do best. This is about local control. I don't understand why you're against it. It surprises me, Representative Turner, especially after they have asked us to do so. And a lot of us have been working very hard on this for a long time. It's not a surprise. What is a surprise,
Representative Stickland,
are the folks who come and show up at the last minute and act like they have a stake in it when they didn't think enough to come testify or talk to my office about it. And I think that's why it passed through Public Education Committee unanimously. Representative
Right.
Turner.
I think several members were missing that day. Well, Representative Stickland,
No,
I think the point is
they were not.
Representative
In fact,
Stickland,
many members from your own party
the
voted
point
yes
is,
on this piece of legislation already.
Representative Stickland, the point is this school finance reform is the priority, not this bill.
Mr. Middleton raises a point of order. The gentleman's time has expired.
Mr. Speaker.
Move adoption.
Mr. Speaker.
And sustained. Mr. Turner, for what purpose?
I rise to raise a point of order against this amendment, and that is a violation of Rule 11, Section 6, subsection E.
Please bring your point of order down front, Mr. Turner.